Good evening, all of you. So now we will focus on the initiative Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. Why this program is an important for the government? Why this scheme was launched by the government? What is the significance of the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program? That things we'll discuss now. Okay. You can see an image. How many of you are able to see the image in the slides? There is a road. Are you able to see the image? You can see a highway. For example, this is a beautiful highway, a newly constructed highway, and you have a car. For example, you got a car and you can ride it straight away. Like you got a car, you can smoothly ride this car in a proper and constructed a good the road which is developed by the government, for example. But after a few days, like drainage work, like some pipeline connections, some cable connection was happening, and they were like breaking this road, and they were distracted. All they damaged all these roads into different parts, and there were gutters. There were parts of the roads also broken. This happened in our states also, in many places of our nearby areas. How many of you have seen this? When a new road is constructed, the next day or after 1 month or 2 months, this cable connection, pipeline connection, water connection, these workers and the project will be coming and they will break the roads and they will leave. That means that the newly constructed road is damaged, and again government has to rework on this same road and they need to redevelop it. So this means some wastage of money. And if you come with another car on the same road, you have to go in a different way. You will be in a different path you have to take. You have to find a path to pass that. It will not be a comfortable position. If any other vehicle is coming in on other side, you will never be able to go. So there will be traffic. So it will affect the traffic system or the transport system or the smooth functioning of a infrastructure developments. So there was a lack of coordination between the different departments. For example, the road developments, the road ministry will develop it, and they will never contact the water authority or other ministries whether they have any work on these areas. If they have to do any work, please do it now. We have to construct a road. We have to redevelop the areas or regenerate the roads, etc. They can inform. Because of the lack of coordination in the earlier time, many ministries were failed to ensure the proper infrastructure project in the area. So one of the major issues of the previous schemes, previous road development, previous infrastructure projects was the lack of coordination between the department. If just make an understanding that before the road, all these cable connection, pipe connectivity, water connectivity has to be done. After that, this road can be constructed. So that communication must be there. So then it will be very smooth. There is no any wastage of money. This is why the government proposed and introduced a scheme called as Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. That's all the ministries coming together, whether it is railway ministry, whether it is road developments, whether it is like IT developments or any infrastructure developments, all the infrastructure related developments, all the ministries coming together and integrated planning and integrated implementation of the infrastructure connectivity project is the focus of Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program, mainly for the infrastructure development project with an integration of different ministries and integrated implementation and planning in the development projects. And recently, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced the Gati Shakti master plan also, and it has invested around 100 lakh crore for the projects of developing the holistic infrastructure. And the development, the master plan of Gati Shakti was also in there in the news. And we'll go through the sub schemes, the sub initiative. That means this is a flagship scheme, a major scheme. The name is Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. Under this major scheme, there are sub schemes. Under this scheme, there are a lot of sub schemes. All these sub schemes have a specific objectivities. So we'll also focus on those like sub schemes of the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. What are the names of these sub schemes? What are the objective of these sub schemes? So one of these Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program is the Bharatmala, one of the sub schemes which was earlier also introduced. This Bharatmala, Sagarmala, inland waterways, all the these development initiatives were now integrated to the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. Bharatmala, you can see the image, you can understand that this is specifically for the development of road in the India. That means like mainly focusing, Bharatmala is mainly focusing on the road development initiative or development of the roads. Sagar Mala, Sagar is a kind of means we say related to the oceans or the seas. By the word also you can understand Sagar. Sagar Mala is somewhat like focusing on the port-led prosperity. All the portal like port, that means India's seaport near to the western and the eastern coast and southernmost coast. We have a lot of port cities in India. So that's all the port must be connected with their good infrastructure, good road, good railway, good waterways. That means Sagarmala project is mainly objective, main purpose of the Sagarmala initiative is to ensure a port-led prosperity, a port-led development, a port-led infrastructure connectivity in India. So Bharatmala, sometime you can expect a previous question, what is the purpose of Bharatmala projects, which is mainly focusing on the road developments. Sagarmala, the main purpose of the Sagarmala is for the port-led prosperity or connectivity ensuring to the port city. That means if there is a connectivity with the port, it can easily transfer the goods and services or whatever the goods and commodities coming from abroad in a trade matter, it can move to other areas. So port in India must be developed, must be ensure a connectivity to other regions. Another example, you can see the UDAN initiative in order to ensure affordable flight traveling. UDAN initiative Udan initiative, there was a movie also in coming, and other like industries also made a movie related to like ensuring affordable flights traveling. So those regions which are not connected with the airport, so through this like even the like cost reducing the costage of this flight, the fare, government supported some finance for ensuring people can travel by flight also, those uncovered and reached regions, especially in the northeastern region, underdeveloped regions or unconnected, like non-connected areas. So the UDAN schemes also focusing on those areas. So all these were now integrated with the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. And another one more projects which integrated with the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program is called as multimodal logistics parks. This multimodal logistic park, recently government announced in the budget that a 4 multimodal logistic park will be established in India through the public-private partnerships and will be awarded in 2022 and 23. That means this year budget also proposed in order to establish, in order to come up with a 4 multimodal logistics park with the support of the private investment or private partnerships. Then what is logistics? What is logistics park? Such kind of question can be expected in the prelims basics. It is also like transporting goods to the consumer, the commercial activity happening or the transportation of the goods and to the customers. All those areas we'll call it as the logistics. And the logistic park is the industrial area where the specifically designed for the storage and management of distribution of this transportation of various goods. In the image you can see a lot of these like boxes which mainly the goods were carried in the lorry or other like vehicles, the big vehicle, heavy vehicles, they will carry all these goods, means the transportation of the goods. And the movies also, you will have seen these fight scenes mostly shot in these logistics sparse areas. In many of the movies, in earlier movies also, you might have seen that all the fight scenes were shot in these areas. So this multimodal logistic projects or park is another like part of this Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program, and it is a refined form of logistics park where the various value-added services are rendered addition to railroad-based transportation, rail, and everything will be connected to these areas. And first, India's multimodal logistic park, which was established in the region of Assam, which is called as Jogi Fofa. Jogi Fofa, Fopa is the area of Assam, is the first country, is the first international multimodal logistic park. And now we have proposed another 4 multimodal projects. In the image, you can see the development of the regions, development, the goods and carrier, all this, the park mainly for the logistic purposes. So multimodal logistic park, the first one was established in the region of Assam. The location is the Jogi Fofa, which is a district of the Bongaigaon. So this is the first multimodal logistic park established in India. That factor based can be asked in the prelims. In order to improve this connectivity of the logistics and goods and carrier services, government also launched a digital like an app-based platform which is called as Unified a logistic interface platform. Like this mapping also will help you where this to be connected, which areas to be connected, how like where this is locations. So the enhancing efficiency and reducing the cost of logistics and reducing the like the problem with regard to connectivity, the information with regard to transparency or the transportations of the goods and services will be provided in this platform. And those who want to get information, they will get this all the information from the unified logistic interface platform. It is also launched by the government. And road development also, recently government said that in order to complete around 25,000 kilometer national highways by 2022 and 23, we have like targeted in order to complete 25,000 kilometer, and we have invested a lot of money for the road and developments, because the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program include road development, railway development, airport development, port like Sagarmala, mass transport, waterways, logistic infrastructure. So this all the road must be in a world-class model infrastructure. When you play the games in the like GTA, there are a lot of car racing games and other games. You have seen that. You have seen this smart and world-class modern infrastructure, more like the road which has. That is also what India is targeting in the future. Our road infrastructure or rail connectivity always must be in a world-class model, and that's why government is investing a lot for this. So this, if we are investing on this infrastructure project, there will be easy transportation of goods and services, resulting into economic growth, resulting into more economic activity in the country. That's why government is prioritizing the investment on this road development or infrastructure developments. So now government is targeting to complete 25,000 kilometer national highways by 2022 and 23. And there are like seamless travel also discussed in order to improve this passengers travel facility. And when you go to airport also, you can see that earlier when we used to take a flights, we have to be in the queue. When there is a security verification, we have to be in the queue, and they will manually checking all the documents and things like that. That means this would take a lot of time also, and there is a people are in queue, and this can also affect, especially if there is a cases like emergency, like pandemic emergency during the COVID-19. Also we have seen that people has to keep a distance between the other, they have to wear a mask. So this like large number of queues or this waiting can also affect the like passenger or travel or mobility stacks. So government now like started to promote the seamless travel, that there is no an absence of disruptions, especially this one person is taking a flight and there not a need of any other person in order to check the security check things, etc. So we can use the technology, a facial recognition by using biometrics, by punching the fingers or by looking into a mirror. By this method, even foreign countries now, when you if you have traveled in abroad, you might have seen that you just have to look into a mirror, and by looking to the mirror, all these biometric data or your facial recognition will be done, and the process is done, and no human like is coming into you by verifying the security process. So we are targeting in our like especially in the air passengers. This passengers making easy the seamless travel initiative was also discussed in the budget through the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. By using the technology, by using the biometric methods, we can also make this easy for the passengers. A seamless travel of passengers. We are trying to ensure an open source of mobility stacks, and this will help travel does not require necessary need of retail options or restorations or help in the security. This is the kind of method that government is promoting now. We can easily travel by flight by using this biometric, by facial recognition. All this technology will be used in order to ensure like seamless travel among the passengers. This is also proposed. Another schemes in the budgets 2022 was with regard to another initiative called as One Station, One Product schemes. The One Station, One Product scheme was discussed in the budgets as part of the railway and like promotion of the handicrafts, the local products of the regions. This was mentioned in the budget. Then what is One Station, One Products schemes? Recently in the like Ranchi, anybody from Ranchi? Like recently, the Ranchi railway station has displayed this kind of one station, one product there, hand woven bamboo products, articrafts, which they have produced in that regions will be stalled. They will have a stall in the railway stations in that platform. So they will like exhibits all their like hand woven handicraft products, the regional products. They can like sell it into the publics. So every station will have a one kind of such products they can promote. So especially the indigenous productions, especially the local production will be promoted through the initiative One Station, One Product schemes. And there is also another initiatives to integrate the postal and railway network. And mostly you know that the delivery of these packages, the cargoes or the parcel services are like mostly coming through the railway. But there was no integration between the postal department and the railway networks. So now the government is trying to integrate the postal service with the railway networks. For that, if it will make an easier transportation, easier delivery of the cargoes, or also facilitating the parcel movements, which is delivering to the customers or delivering to the citizens. So in order to ensure the fastest delivery of the parcel services, government also proposed integrating the postals and also the railway network, which is also was in the news. And another one of the topic which were recently in the news was the KAVAJ technology. And this KAVAJ technology was also discussed in the budget 2022 and 23. So we'll see what is this KAVAJ technology under the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti. For example, normally we have seen that two trains coming in the same platform, same lines and same track. What will happen if two trains are coming in the same platform? They will collide. There were a lot of cases you have seen that a collision of train and coming together in the same tracks and they are hitting each other and resulting into a big accident and killing of the people, or this can resulting into disaster also. Have you heard about that kind of accidents, the collision of the two trains coming in the same platform? So in the railway, like infrastructure, railway, the IT development, now they have come up with a development of technology which is called as KAVAJ technology. And with this technology, if any train is coming, or if any like in a one platform, if both trains are coming together in one way and the other, so there will be an information will be passed to both locomotives. The pilots will get an information that the other train is coming in the same platform. You have to put a brake and you have to stop. So this is the KAVAJ technology which mainly aimed for preventing two trains coming together and in order to prevent their collision in the same platform. So this KAVAJ technology using a GPS satellite data, and this data will be like transformed to loco pilots of the both train, and in order to between like before they are colliding each other, they will get an information to brake, to put a brake and to stop the train before it happens. So this was an India's project. Already development was in the since 2012, and it's actually the name was Train Collision Avoidance System, TCAS, Train Collision Avoidance System, which India named as the KAVAJ technology. Through this technology, we can prevent two trains coming from colliding. That means in the image, in the animation, you can see the two trains are coming together in the same platform. By using the KAVAJ technology, they will give an information to both the pilots and they can stop the train and can avoid the collision of two trains. So in prelims, you can expect question, what the KAVAJ technology recently in the news, what is the objective of the KAVAJ technology? Such kind of question you can expect in the prelims. That's why these small related facts are relevant for our prelims examination. So it is a set of electronic devices, radio frequency, which identification devices installed in both locomotive trains in the signaling system, and it is to control the brakes, and they will get an information and to stop the trains, and it will alert the pilots or the drivers so that it will put a brake and apply a brake the 20 meter apart between the trains, and through that we can prevent the collision of the train, the big accidents that can resulting into a huge damage to the public and to the infrastructure. This is why the KAVAJ technology was in the news as part of the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. Another important initiative mentioned the budget 2020 was the Vande Bharat trains. You might have heard about the Vande Bharat Express. Anybody have traveled in the Vande Bharat Express? I didn't travel. So this Vande Bharat Express was also in the news. We have launched this initiative for development of Vande Bharat in 2018. And I think the first travel was started from 2019. So Vande Bharat is a railway development, especially development of the train. So Vande Bharat trains are the semi-high speed trains, each of 16 coaches and self-propelled, and it does not require an engine. Normally we have seen the trains with engines. Normally we have seen train with engines, but in the case of Vande Bharat, it does not require an engine in the front in order to take up this like entire carriage, entire the coaches. But in this case of Vande Bharat, it does not require an engine to carry all the 16 coaches. So it means that it is self-propelled into like self-propelled train, which is a semi-high speed train, which does not require an engine. This is called as a distributed transaction power system. And this is what we have given the name to the train is the Vande Bharat train, and does not require or need a locomotive or the engine for running the train. And this is in the already in the implementation of the government, and some development projects was proposed. An upgradation of this train was proposed in the budget 2022 and 23. It is semi high speed train set, a self-propelled, does not require an engine or locomotive. The first Vande Bharat train in India was, which is also named as Train 18, was like first Vande Bharat train was started from Varanasi to Delhi in 2019. Currently, around 102 Vande Bharat express trains with their carriage are active in India. And budget now as proposed, like 400 new generation Vande Bharat train will be like coming in the areas, in the projects as part of this project in the upcoming within the 3 years. And now railway also looking for making several updates to this program, and especially in replacing the aluminum instead of steels. If you use the steel has a little more weight, and it can like it will like reduce the speeds. So in order to increase the speed of the train, as well as in order to save the energy, government now is thinking of replacing the use of like steel, or replacing the steel into aluminum. That means aluminum can be used instead of steel. If you use the aluminum, it is lighter weight as compared to the steel, and it it can reduce the consumption of energy, or we can save the energy which is used for like transportation or the traveling of this Vande Bharat. So that our energy conservation effort also, we are thinking of replacing the steel which is used for the development of the constructions, or like the development of the Vande Bharat. Government is also thinking of replacing the aluminum instead of the steel. But the problem is the making aluminum is much more expensive as compared to the steel. That is one area which we are concerned. If you are going to replace this aluminum, which is inexpensive, which will cost a lot for the government. That is what the government challenge. But government is ready to replace the aluminum in order to save the energy. Energy conservation is a sustainable objective of the government. For that, government is going with that. So that's the proposal has made by the budget 2022 and 20. This is why the Vande Bharat was in the news ever mentioned. So we can expect question with regard to Bharat train, which does not require an engine, which is a self-propelled semi-high-speed trains. You might have seen the images of also these trains, and you can see. I'll give you some question with regard to some schemes were discussed in the today's sessions, so which is KAVAJ Technology. So we have discussed about KAVAJ Technology. What is this? And I'm giving you a poll, and you can read the question and you can solve. The KAVAJ Technology mainly for like preventing the collision of the two train which is passing through the same platform, and it will result into danger like in an accident. So in order to provide this main objective of this KAVAJ Technology is to provide the protection by preventing a train to pass a signal at the danger and avoid the collision between the two. So right answer to this question is option B, that we already discussed in the previous slide with regard to this KAVAJ Technology. So this is again is part of science and technology initiative which mentioned in the our budget 2022 and 23. In future also you can expect this question or any other state service examination also. If very true trains are coming together in the same like tracks, and they will get an information, the data will be informed to this loco pilot of the both train, and they will put a brake, and between they can like prevent the collision of the two train. That is what the objective of the KAVAJ Technology. That is a basic you have to understand for solving a question with regard to that. And another one more projects in the budget discussed was Parvat Mala project. So another important initiative along with this Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program was the Parvat Mala project, which also discussed in the projects. A new initiative in the budget they have discussed about the Parvat Mala projects. So what is this Parvat Mala project? Such kind of question we can expect in the Parvat Mala projects is a national ropeway development program. This is implemented by, it is responsibility of the Ministry of Road and Transport Highway, like the road development Bharat Mala projects. Similarly, the ropeway development also implemented, or it is a responsibility of Ministry of Road and Transport Highway to implement it. And this project has been taken in a mode of PPP mode, already discussed what is public-private partnerships. So taking the participation of the private, government will support and going to develop this ropeway development program, which is a new initiative were discussed in the budget 22 and 23. So this is to improve the connectivity, especially to the hill regions, especially the hill region, very difficult to connect by road, very difficult to connect by train also. Even if we develop by airport, it will consume a lot of time and it will never be affordable to the public. So if we connect these hilly regions of Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, or Jammu and Kashmir, northeastern states, if we connect to the hill regions by ropeway, rope connectivity, so this will help the people to travel from this area to the hilly regions or the remote areas. So this is to ensure the connectivity to the hill regions of the India, and also in resulting the promoting the tourism of India. Many, when you go to the tourist places or tourist locations, you also maybe like try for these ropeways or these cable like cars. How many of you have tried for these cable cars or ropeway while you visited to the Himachal Pradesh or many the tourist places? Yeah, many like 20 of you have already like have taken some like experience with that. So this way, one side it is helping the transportation to the hilly regions, and another area it is ensuring also promoting the tourism. So did that, we have to understand it is not implemented by Ministry of Tourism, it is implemented by the Ministry of Road and Transport Highways ministries. They are responsible for the development of ropeway, and already the scheme is presently started in the region like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, and Jammu and Kashmir, and other northeast states of India. So this the projects of Parvat project with image, you can understand this is mainly for the ropeway development projects, mainly in the hilly regions, which is National Ropeway Development Program. In the video also discussing about the alternative roadway connectivity to the hill areas, because developing road will be consuming a lot of time. Also, it is not easy, and there is higher possibility that landslide can also happen. But this initiative again was relevant in this year, because there was a news recently in Jharkhand. There was a ropeway accident also recently happened. You might have heard about Jharkhand, the ropeway accident, and that's why the safety of the ropeway development is also important in these schemes. And the minister also talked about ensuring the safety in the development of the ropeway schemes or ropeway development scheme of Parvat projects. So in future, you can expect a question with regard to what is the objective of Parvat projects mentioned in the budgets under the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program. Along with that, this initiative is also promoting more connectivity, multimodal connectivity to the urban transport and railway station. You might have seen in city like Delhi, Mumbai, even in Kochi of Kerala and other Guwahati area, you have seen that it is connected. The same highways were connected by the metro railway stations. It is the same, the public road in the town. So this, the multimodal connectivity, mass urban transport also discussed and promoted through the Pradhan Mantri Gati Shakti program of the government. And for the development of the resources, for the ensuring the use of technology and investing on developing a new technology, also government is like prioritizing capacity building. So capacity building is all like a kind of like effort which we have given for individual and organization, especially department, like the people who are part of the health ministry, who are part of the road development, who are part of the railway ministry. So all these members who are the employees or the part of the government bureaucrats or the organization itself need to be empowered to implement or to develop certain technology to be effectively implement these schemes. So it is also focusing on capacity or training these persons or the organization to implement this initiative in a better way. So investing new IT technology by smart technology, by developing an app, this area also this has been focused.